Have you ever seen a fish this magical? Not only can it suck out melanin to whiten your skin, but it can also scrub away the grime inside your body. It even gobbles up terrifying viruses without leaving a trace. Even the cacti by the roadside can be used for acupuncture to melt away all your fatigue. This is the legendary Life, the country of healing, a paradise for the sick from all over the world. To heal Toriko's severed arm, the gang took an aircraft carrier to this town. As soon as they docked, a swarm of Dr. Butterflies flew over. These insects can detect injuries. Blue means a minor injury, red means a serious one, and if you see both colors, well, you're knocking on death's door. Toriko and the crew were all in bad shape, so they rushed to find the village's best doctor, the regenerator Yasaku. But this guy was chomping on a giant chicken leg while smoking 3 cigars at once. No matter how you looked at him, he didn't look like a legitimate doctor. Next, they were led into the treatment room, which was covered in blood and half-dead beasts. Yasaku suddenly stomped his foot and proceeded to beat the living daylights out of his 3 patients. He grabbed them by the arm and tossed them straight into a man-eating flower. But don't panic, that's called the nurse gap. It eats away most injuries in just a minute. As for the remaining minor wounds, Yasaku just hawked a loogie right onto them, and just like that, the wounds healed. Finally, it was Toriko's turn. Yasaku pulled out a regeneration seed, cut off a chunk of Toriko's hair as a catalyst, and added some potion. The seed grew instantly, bearing fruit in just 3 seconds. This glowing white orb contained all of Toriko's DNA and was incredibly precious. So, Yasaka had to be extremely careful when harvesting it. But of course, splat. Toriko was devastated, pointing out he was out of hair. Yasaku said other things could work as a substitute. After some trial and error, they grew another one. This time, Yasaku was extra careful and successfully implanted the glowing orb into Toriko's severed arm stump. Before Toriko could even celebrate, he deflated like a popped balloon. The regeneration seed had instantly sucked every ounce of nutrition from his body. Teetering on the edge of collapse, he frantically grabbed nearby food and shoved it into his mouth just to catch his breath. Then, Toriko went into vacuum mode, furiously stuffing meat and fish down his throat. As Toriko kept eating, his severed arm actually started to sprout. Yasaku was stunned. For a normal person, sprouting takes at least a year. At this rate, it wouldn't take the usual 20 years to heal. The table was cleared in seconds, and the moment Toriko stopped eating, he shriveled up like a mummy again. Yasaku immediately ordered more food. And so, Toriko began an endless eating marathon, even sleeping while soaked in a tank of healing liquid. With this constant supply of energy, his arm grew at a visible rate. Just then, Toriko coughed up a massive amount of blood. The side effects had kicked in. Yasaku quickly gave him an injection, but whether he would survive or not depended entirely on Toriko's own willpower. Meanwhile, Komatsu hit a wall trying to recreate the century soup. He had no choice but to ask Granny Setsuno for advice. After hearing her words, Komatsu had an epiphany. He ran back to the kitchen and began to listen to the voice of the ingredients. To his amazement, the ingredients started glowing and lining up to get into the pot. Some even jumped in on their own. After layer upon layer of filtration, the soup finally became crystal clear. Komatsu couldn't wait to taste it, but it was still missing something. He just couldn't put his finger on it. Just as Komatsu was about to collapse from exhaustion, the little wall penguin sneaked in. Komatsu served it a bowl of soup, and right then, a drop of the penguin's drool fell into the bowl. Instantly, the room was filled with a blinding light. The century soup was complete. It turned out the final secret ingredient was the penguin's saliva. At the same time, far away, Toriko seemed to sense the call of the gourmet food and snapped awake. He looked down, his arm was completely fully grown. He stood up, gazing in the direction of the aurora, drooling uncontrollably.